And
Everyone
we're
to
live.
session 50.
Sorry.
So we're really live
Take
now for
3.
realsies?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Session 55, go. We do have a recap from session 54 to be read by Robert.
I titled that Super Saiyan Robots. A telepathic robot that can talk to the mind of organics and mechanics? Creepy? Cool? Orion has really dug into the past to find some advanced stuff to help me out. Once again, we clamped me into that horror movie chair and got to it. A rapid fire sequence of images blurred past till Orion returned to the moment of my crossing over. Seems like you found me signing some sort of contract with the man I thought I killed, and my name was the same, Pete Mercury, signed by my own trembling hand. I was in a lab somewhere with several assistants in that VI frame that I currently inhabit. But it wasn't something I fought. That thing was strapped to the wall. Orion said it was very advanced psychic memory editing that hid all this. And then there's the gap that showed the robot arms from my perspective, with my covered body being wheeled away on a cart. There was blood though, so I assumed my body was killed in the process. Then came the real me memories that I had suppressed. Something about a pretty violent reaction to what they did, and then following my body out of the lab. I guess if I escaped, I could find it again. The Scourge of Maltech isn't just a boogeyman that people think it is. No wonder I've been feeling a little unhinged. After that, everyone needed to relax a bit while we searched for the next job. And it sounds like Eva and Daisuke might be a thing now.
All right. Nice recap. And we left off. I'm forgetting the exact moment, but I think that Eva and Cherry were getting ready to head over to her family's place. And everyone else was going to be hanging out for a while. I don't know if we had established exactly what everyone else would be doing. But, well, I know that. Let me think here. Somebody else was doing job hunt. I guess Cherry was doing that, wasn't she? Kind of at the same time as visiting family. Danielle, you're muted if you were going to pipe in on that. But
what did you say that Cherry was doing?
just she was doing some job searching, chasing down leads, sort of on the side while doing family and stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. What did we decided that Bo and Pete would be up to? I guess, and Zeke.
Were we with them or nah? I don't remember.
What do you guys think? Do we want to go ahead and say we've already split off?
Whatever works best for everyone.
Yeah, I think we left about the split there last session, so pick up, with the whatever groups people have divvied up into.
If you guys don't have strong opinions yet, then we can start with Cherry and Eva, and we can cut back to you guys once you have an idea what you want to do. Or if you just want it to be background, that's fine too.
I'm happy
I don't know.
for Eva and Daisuke to be background.
Okay. Yeah, we don't. Don't worry, we won't be having a flirt session with me as Daisuke and Eva on their date.
I can only
Or
take
whatever
that
it
from
is.
you once every 3 weeks, Ben. So you've got 2 weeks left.
Wait, what was? Did I
Oh, don't tell
did I
me you
do
don't
any of it the
remember.
last time? I didn't think that counted, but that's okay.
Hey, out of character is fine too.
You mean that also counts against
That
the
also
3 weeks?
counts as, yeah.
Okay. Well, you should have told me that beforehand, but oh well.
I assumed everyone knew.
Yeah. So yeah, Cherry and Eva are on their way to Cherry's family's place. Because Cherry wanted to go visit family and wanted to bring Eva along. How much did Cherry fill Eva in on the whole arrangement beforehand? About Daisuke taking her somewhere.
I think she said that she might need some time to talk to her parents, but she hadn't really said anything about like Daisuke taking her somewhere. Because she'd be worried about Eva overthinking things and getting nervous.
Okay, got you. Yeah, because so the outfit selection and getting ready was just generally to go over there and see him.
Generally to go over and see my family and to
Well,
just go
yeah.
out on Lohenu Da.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Then, alrighty.
Yeah, that would be all she had said about that.
So they'll be rolling up. How is the? Well, I don't need to interrogate too much. I'm good with that much. So yeah, you guys can roll up to Cherry's family's residence, and he'll have. I guess they'll send Tashi out to receive you, unless I guess Tashi went to pick you up.
I thought he had.
Leave. Yeah, Tashi probably would have picked you up so you could leave the rental with the rest of the crew. So they have some way to get where they need to go. So yeah, he'll walk you all inside, and the family will greet you. Father and mother are both present. Both, I guess, pleased to see both of you. They're being good hosts. And Daisuke is also, he comes down about the time all the greetings are being made, and he is dressed up a bit more than he usually would be. He always dresses nicely, but he's in suit and tie, even wearing cufflinks.
If he makes eye contact with Cherry, she would give him an eyebrow raise.
Yeah, I'd give her a small wink, and though she can see through it to a bit of his nerves. She's never known him to be any sort of smooth operator.
Maybe I do want to hear this flirting.
But yeah, he.
Out come the eyebrows.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw
It's
the
obligatory.
notification And I was like, I know what somebody just posted. Oh man. But yeah, this is I believe we'd established this was around lunchtime, right? And so yeah, uh, after a few pleasantries and small talk and stuff, um, Daisuke will cut in and say, "Well, sorry that plans weren't able to be changed on such short notice, but um, my family already had the meal being prepared and didn't have quite enough extra for another guest. So, Eva, can I treat you to something somewhere else? Didn't want to impose on my parents on such short notice."
Hmm. So I rolled notice to see if she even noticed that he was dressed up nicely. Um, and I think I'm interpreting that 6 as because Cherry made an impression on her with the outfit Cherry chose, that Eva is a little self-conscious and is also noticing that he's dressed up. Now, whether she compares that to how he was dressed before or not, I think that's a little bit too far.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I got you.
I think she responds, "Oh, we can just go to your lab."
Oh, are you not hungry? I'm a bit hungry. I had a small breakfast.
Mm. She's trying to think of when she last ate.
Carrie would interject. She'd say, "Yeah, it has been a while since we last ate."
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sometimes, and then she would say, "Sometimes Eva forgets to eat."
Well, I can relate to that. Maybe we should get something to eat and then we can take a look at the lab.
Okay.
I do have some things I need to work on anyway, but food first.
That's all she needs to hear.
So, yeah, he'll glance Tashi's way, and Tashi will head right back out and get the car fired up. So
Right.
he'll be walking her out and asking if she has any favorite cuisine.
Oh no. Well.
I would love to hear her say Dino Nuggies.
You know what? That's true. She's been looking into the different qualities of meat after the Dino Nuggets, and so she'll start talking about exotic meats and their nutritional content uh, and value in comparison to standardized vegetarian or vegan fare, non-meat foods. If he's paying
Mm-hmm.
attention, he might get the vibe that she prefers she philosophically prefers the vegan stuff.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I think he would be paying enough attention to pick up on something like that, as long as she's if she's giving any sort of hint at that, intentional or otherwise.
Yeah, I think she's probably hinting at it. Sh people that don't. I don't want to make a broad sweeping generalization, but quite often, someone who makes these kinds of comparisons does it because of a personal reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It's not like it's her job. It's just something that she had enough interest in to look into.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say
Yeah.
that's
So,
enough unintentional implication.
Yeah. So let's see then. Let's see. Let me look something up real quick. Oh yeah. So he'll. Okay. Yeah. So he'll nod along, listen to her description, and which I'm sure her explanation will continue into getting in the car and heading off somewhere.
It's going to take a little bit longer, especially since she's nervous, before she reaches a stage where it's actually conversation and not just her talking.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. So, yeah, he'll after she gets enough of her spiel out, he'll say that he knows a good place that would serve a variety of those sorts of things, and he's pretty sure that they're also doing a screening of Indiana Jane and the Temple of the Three Moons.
Well, I guess she's not talking about food anymore. Now she's excited
Into the
about
Jennifer Moons.
yeah, she's excited about how well did they adapt the book.
I was going to say, I can't wait to hear her 1 hour breakdown of why the book was better afterwards.
Yeah, he starts talking a little bit about the various actors and actresses, and it is debating spoiling for you who plays Jennifer Moons herself.
Oh, she several times tells him that he has to tell her, and then that he can't tell her, has to tell her he can't tell her, in different ways.
Nice.
Eva is excited for this now.
Mm-hmm.
I think her excited chatter is a little bit different from her nervous chatter.
Oh yeah, and how so?
Um, I'll get back to you on that.
All right. Okay. Yeah, he does his best trying to keep up with her confusing contradictions. And he decides to play it safe by giving hints, but not actually saying for sure one way or the other.
Yeah, that's a good call on his part. She likes the puzzle aspect of it.
And so they're off. Um, Meanwhile, Cherry's hanging out with her mom and dad, and getting ready to settle in for a nice big lunch. Did she have anything particular she wanted to talk to them about?
She would just be updating them on like how her job went and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she would be kind of talking about the med relief in Havario and how they're looking for another job and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hanako she would be very complimentary of the good job they did. That um, they'd heard a good report from the colony on oh goodness, on Phyllis, that you'd made a good impression, and they'd been a huge help getting the supplies there in a timely fashion while they're busy with ship repairs, and that she thinks there's a strong possibility that the company would pay you guys to do more work in the future. And Katashi he's also complimentary. He stays a bit more reserved, but he's doing what he can to be positive on her adventures outside the system.
Thanks, Dad.
He does mention that a little bird told him that she'd had a face-to-face with Nikki Nebula, and he wants to know how that went.
She would sigh and look obviously a little disappointed. And she would just, say, well, she doesn't really want us to share what happened, if that makes sense. Or she wants us to keep a positive message. However, we were sent there as recon, and there's a lot of dangers there. And if we were to not share how dangerous it actually is, people's lives are on the line. And that didn't seem to bother her very much.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a notice or talk check.
Can you do that for me? Do not have my laptop. Sorry.
True. Yeah.
I think her dad rolled a nat 12, guys.
Let's see. I'm assuming you want a talk check here. I think it's yeah. I don't even know why I gave the option. All right. He rolled a 14. You got a 9. Do you want to? That's a that's a failure. Do you want to try re-rolling that?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, so close. You got a 13.
Okay. Nothing to re-roll with diplomat.
Yeah,
well,
true.
Are you sure you got a 13?
Say what? Unfortunately, we are, because I think you have to actually be with her to be able to do the thing. Yeah, visible ally. But okay. So yeah, he'll continue making conversation about that. He'll ask a little bit more about why Cherry thinks that went badly, or if she thinks she could if there's anything she thinks she could do to salvage that. Maybe
she would clarify that she doesn't think that it went poorly per se, just that she was disappointed in Nikki Nebula's priorities seeming to be not that of the people's safety.
Yeah, he seems to kind of ponder that for a couple minutes while your mom makes some encouraging comments and tries to kind of move past and focus on the bright side of the the good report and getting paid extra by the department. And then he'll pipe back in just with not really disagreement, but just a suggestion that it may be that Nikki Nebula has other information that and she has other priorities, a lot of things to balance against each other, and just not to assume too much about her motives for doing different things, but that he couldn't say one way or the other either. But that he's sure that your influence in the whole matter will be for the better. He
Okay.
knows you can steer them the right way.
Okay.
And he goes back to eating his lunch.
She'd thank him for the vote of confidence and try and change the topic.
What does she want to change it to? Or do we want to fade to
She
black?
would want to talk more about the uplift stuff with her mom.
Okay.
And then you can fade to black, but that would be the topic she'd want to try and touch on.
Okay, like about what kind of work they might be willing to give her, send her way.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, her mom she'd have a lot to say about Arvario and the piracy that has been getting worse. She'll even say it's rumored. The Arvario government has denied it, but it's rumored that part of the problem with the increase in piracy is that the Harvarian Navy has had a higher than usual number of defections. And lots of speculations going on about why that is or what's going on with the Harvario government, but they also haven't made any moves to quell the rumored desertions or the piracy in general. They've really been basically turning a blind eye to it. The pirates don't attack Harvarian ships, and so they left alone. It's put a bit of a damper on any sort of trade or travel between Harvario and the other systems. But Harvarian government hasn't seen fit to do anything major about it yet. And yeah, she'll I think if she would, how much she would go into. I think yeah, I think that's about it. She does think that she's not sure. She can't promise anything about it, but they've actually got a meeting planned to discuss how to secure the next mission to Phyllis, because they don't want a repeat of the last time when they got attacked. So she's she's wondering if they might be looking to hire better security, maybe even an escort, because they can't really afford to fit out a whole other ship. But they might be able to afford security.
Okay. So they might be able to afford security. We're not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Might have to work on them a little bit. What about everybody else? We got Zeke, Pete, and Bo.
I think Pete would just be hanging with the other guys. Nothing in
Okay.
particular.
I'm not sure if there's anything of note that we could be really doing.
Okay.
Putting more holes in Eva's ship.
Well, I think Bo is starting on his mods. So I guess from the moment they have they headed out, he disappeared to the workshop and has started on the boosted mod for his mag pistol,
Okay.
and has been working like a man possessed.
Nice. Getting straight to work. Okay. Well then, cool. I think we'll just kind of move on and fast forward past all of these little scenes. Let's see. I'm juggling a little bit of background stuff. Is there any other stuff that people wanted to get done before? I know I'm gonna be giving you the results of your digging on any sorts of leads for your chosen Harvario missions or adventures. That would be a yes, by the way, Ethan. You can spend love bucks on the
Useful love bucks.
Yeah, since you're acquiring the parts here on Lohi Nuda, you can do
Can I
that. You can.
pre-acquire parts for other mods with love bucks?
I guess so. If you've already decided what other stuff you're going
Yeah.
to build, yeah, go ahead and stock up. Just
So we got a plan.
nice. Yeah, just list out which ones you're doing. And I don't remember. Is it Bo or Eva that has Tinker?
That's Eva.
Eva's got the Tinker.
Okay. I assume is Bo gonna have Eva work with him on any of these mods?
Probably.
Okay.
And does
Yes.
that half the time when she's working on it?
Importantly,
It's
it's
the
half the
general
cost.
assistance thing. Yeah. Oh, okay, half's the cost. Fancy.
Yeah, the tinker gives the half the cost, and just having an assistant halves the time.
Yeah, so whatever time she worked on you with you on it, will basically count for double time. And as long as she does spend, a decent amount of time, I'm not gonna set a hard threshold, but as long as she's spending a decent bit of time on the mod, then I'll let you benefit from her tinker focus and do it for half price.
Woot.
And yeah, she's happy to help.
I'd say I have to physically restrain her from helping.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's especially trying to use the workshop on her ship. You'd have to be waking up after she went to sleep. Probably having drugged her and had Pete stash her in her room to then be able to go and work in her workshop without her knowledge.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, her falling asleep does not guarantee she's left the workshop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, also remember that it requires one fewer pre-tech salvage. So if there's something on there that you want that has only one pre-tech salvage, it nixes that cost.
Alas, phasing costs 2 units of pre-tech salvage. We gotta go rummaging in some pre-tech junkyards.
Yeah, you would love that. It's part of her interest in ruins.
What did you say? You got something you're wanting to do that needs pre-tech?
Phasing.
Okay, got you. Yeah, let's see.
See how they run.
Yes. Yeah, I was checking some old notes real quick to see. Because I seem to recall that when you went to oh boy, now I'm completely blanking. Dimnoff. When you went to Dimnoff, Sarah Lloyd let you keep a couple bits of pre-tech salvage.
Thought she did, yeah, but I thought you also had specifically said that that wasn't the same as pre-tech components. That was basically just money, or could be sold.
Hmm.
I would have made a more, at least I believe, I would have made a more specific entry in the ship inventory if I'd known that those were pre-tech components.
Yeah, it's possible that because it was pretty small bits of stuff, so yeah, that may have been the way I dealt with that.
Yeah, I mean, pre-tech components are something you're supposed to go out adventuring for anyway. So, I think my assumption that led into my assumption that yeah, it's just money.
Yeah, it is, and they are supposed to be pretty rare. But okay. Speaking of
Now,
going
if
out
you're changing
adventuring
your
for
mind on this, I'm not going to argue against you.
True, yeah, we'll see. I'll check my notes and see if I indicated otherwise in my notes. But for now, let's get back to running down some missions for you guys to go on. So for Cherry, I'm guessing Danielle, you still don't have your laptop, so I'm going to roll a connect roll for Cherry. See. Give you a +1 for the family connection. All right. Nice. All right, I'm getting some kind of weird little glitch, but it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna hurt anything.
Man, it wouldn't let me unmute for a second, but I just went, yay, nepotism.
What?
It said +1 for the family connection.
Oh.
Yeah. Cherry's family connection to uplift. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, Cherry was able to convince her mom, and her mom was able to successfully push for uplift, putting a bit of money towards wanting to hire out an escort ship for their next delivery to Harvario, which is the Harvario system, specifically Phylus, because the last time they went to do that, they got waylaid by pirates. So, their starting offer for these escort services is 15,000 credits. And this is really, it's definitely for the trip out to Phylus. They would like the escort on the way back, though they don't expect as likely an issue, since they'll be coming back empty-handed. And the return trip would be a good bit delayed, so it wouldn't be expected that you'd wait around for them to finish their assignment on Phylus and head back to Loenuda. So that offer would be available to your crew on a preferential basis, considering your connections and previous performance, if you would choose to accept it. Now, as far as other leads on, I know there had been interest expressed in derelicts or ruins. Who would be running down tips or information on that, and how so?
I don't know. Maybe Pete would run down that, knowing that it is a thing that Eva likes and they haven't done it in a while.
Could probably
Mhm.
take Zeke along, because that's something that seems up his alley too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say Zeke would probably want to join him in that endeavor. Not sure what we would do specifically though.
Probably just ask around.
Is there like anywhere in particular that you might recommend that we check out, Ben?
Oh, I could recommend some places. I'm curious to know where Pete and Zeke would think to look for such information.
I mean, Zeke would be willing to go to a more shady place, maybe pay money for credible information.
Okay. Yeah, so what does Pete think about that?
I think he'd be fine with that idea. Maybe shoot a message to Orion and say, hey, we're looking to see if there's anybody who knows of any ruins to go exploring. Let me know if you got any info, something like that. Side note, I
Okay.
was also thinking about we have, I think the Swallowtail has 3 masts that are dedicated to cargo. Since we haven't really been doing cargo, mast 4 actually, we could probably trade one of those for boarding tubes if we wanted to do escort. Just a thought.
Escort.
Yeah. I also would be board a pirate.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, because my brain, when you say escort, my brain immediately thinks just securing and leaving, and not boarding the pirate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, boarding the pirates is. I mean, obviously that's an option for defending your escort, but escort target, whatever.
Oh, they would be the one escorting us. I had it the other way around.
No, I misspoke. You would be escorting the uplift ship. But yeah, I mean, yeah, boarding tubes would definitely be an option for doing.
Otherwise, we should consider a better gun, guys.
Yeah, pirating the pirates is always objectively the correct choice.
Oh, it
That's
definitely is. And Pete and Zeke and Bo as frontliners, that would be chaos.
that gets into privateering, which I'm not opposed to.
Technically, privateering is completely up our alley.
Here we go. Good rat things with our friends, man.
And that's I was thinking about that because I was also like, you know what? It honestly is not that expensive.
This is why they're all turned into piracy over in Havario.
Let's see.
They get their little ship mods or us magazine. They're like, you know, it is surprisingly affordable to turn to a life of crime.
Yeah.
So the boarding tubes for privateering, which is anti-crime, they would be 50,000. That's not too bad, no.
Yeah. Pete has 20,000 love. It's not a problem.
Yeah, see, the trick is getting your boarding tubes and high yield anti-ship weaponry subsidized by the government, and then just flying off with the ship.
There you go.
That makes it even cheaper.
That's just free real estate right there.
So true. All right. So,
Yeah.
let's see. Let's get a connect roll from someone, and the other of you could help with it.
I'll help, because I don't recommend Pete doing the connect.
You
Okay.
have so much faith in Zeke.
Zeke can reroll probably. I have a
I mean, either-
-1.
That's true. I have a 0 then. All right. I guess it does make sense.
Yeah, I
I
have
think
a
you
net
also
-1.
got
So
also got
charisma or wisdom, Ben?
to
Yes.
roll what?
Connect.
Oh, you're gonna also roll connect. You wouldn't want to try a different skill for Pete to help with.
Intimidate
Wait,
your contacts.
Exert.
Yeah. Yeah, give me an exert with strength.
Sure.
No, he says, I think Zeke. How'd he do on his first roll? Did he succeed?
No.
He certainly did not.
You said
Give
it.
me
So let's try this again.
give me that reroll.
With a +1, I did assist.
Yes. Yes, you can have a +1 for that.
Papa's lucky dice. Here they go. All right. Can I? Or well, how did that go?
All right, that's a partial success.
Can I curse somebody's luck, or like, is there a narratively what's going on?
So, I guess roll wise, that's as much as you'll be able to do for this. Now, you may end up in a situation soon where you could benefit from cursing someone's luck, and I'll let you know about that. So yeah, I'm gonna say, Zeke and Pete find themselves in a shadier place. They've it looks like it's frequented by mostly menial laborers, and it's this is actually below ground. They might remember some passing mention by Bo of such places, and so they went looking below ground for the less reputable places, and they've been asking around about any information anyone would have on, I guess, valuable finds, preferably untouched ruins and any other sorts of lucrative exploration in nearby systems, but angling towards Harvario. And find yourselves drinking with a couple of pretty rough-looking guys who are claim to be crew hands for a free merchant that makes the rounds through all the known systems in this sector, and it's
What are
recently
they
been.
These two
What are
guys?
they? Yeah, these two guys, Jim and Wesley,
Oh, okay.
and
Thanks.
their ship has recently ventured over into Urala and even Tabuk. So they claim to have a breadth of information about all sorts of systems for the right price. And but they look like they're let me see. To say they look villainous would be a slight overstatement, but they certainly look like the sort who enjoy roughing people up when they get the chance, and they're eyeing the two of you up and seem to be paying a special attention to Zeke.
Well, Pete does have his swords, his sword and his dagger.
He does.
He might just clear his throat, say, "Focus, guys."
I don't think Zeke's intimidated.
Oh yeah, no, we're here just waiting for you to make it worth our while. And this guy will knock back another shot.
So, do you have anything more than stories at this point, or did you happen to get some pictures from somebody? Like, you
If you want,
understand, it's not easy to just go with hearsay.
Oh no, hearsay's worth not that much, but we've got a location.
if you want us to compensate you, you need to make it worth our time.
Oh, don't worry, it's worth the money.
Yeah, I hear that kind of stuff all the time down here. Prove it.
They grin. Well, you may have gotten lucky on some cheat marks before, but we don't spill till we see some creds.
What do you think
You want
this
to
information is worth?
Well, the location's probably worth 1,000. I could give you I could give you hints and some rumors for maybe 100. See what you think of it. But trust me,
Well, for 1,000, what are we actually talking about?
we're talking about untouched, dangerous, uh, probably probably an extra pirate wreck to salvage if you can if you have the space to haul off everything valuable on it. That's besides whatever they were trying to get at. What do you think? It looked like he looks to his buddy Jim. Looked like a frigate wreck, right? And he nods. Yeah, it was probably if you piece it all back together. Yeah, that's just the pirate that was trying to crack whatever this was open. They
Can Pete try to observe if they seem to be telling the truth or if they're just trying to make it up?
yeah, you can give me maybe a notice check.
Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think you'd let me use strength.
Hard to flex
That's
your way
actually a
through that
pretty
one.
good roll for Pete.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a success. They don't give any indication of lying. They are definitely being obscure about what information they're giving so far. And
Mm,
I have a character question. How
mhm.
strong is like what's his exert modifier looking like right now?
Pete?
Yeah.
Oh, strength +2, so +3.
I don't want
Yeah,
to
he's
challenge these guys to a friendly game
Arm
where we pay
wrestling?
a game of arm wrestling where we'll pay them more if they win and less if they lose.
I mean, that's funny, but
I mean, we can't possibly lose.
right. Uh
I don't think they'd take it though.
they might also realize that you can't possibly lose, or at least consider it unlikely that you'd lose.
How could they possibly do that?
Because it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, I mean, if it were to they'd probably accept a challenge to arm wrestle Zeke, but they're I guess Zeke would probably be I think he'd be aware they consider themselves to be kind of in the position of strength at the moment. And just looking at Pete, nobody would volunteer to arm wrestle him unless they were desperate. Or
Touche.
just liked getting hurt. Because he's in like a. He. Not only is he strong, he looks like he's strong. Got the
Are
chassis
there
to back it
other
up.
bar games we could challenge them to?
I mean,
Hmm.
I guess Pete's game to go for it and might look at him and say 50-50 love versus credits, or you want only credits.
Yeah. We'd take half love. Um,
He'll he'll like put it on the table in front just like showing he's got it.
Okay, like half
And
the amount in love.
yeah,
Okay. So they'll
and
eye
then
that. Like, so you mean business?
I mean business if you mean business.
They lean forward and lower their voices. Like, all right then. Um, yeah, he's waiting, and it seems to kind of register that you're not actually handing over the half yet. And he's like, look here, Pete, right? If you're feeling a little unsure about this, you can just give us half, then we'll tell you and you pay the rest. But you can understand how we might not want to just spill the beans with empty hands, am I right?
Fair enough. He'll slide the love over and keep his finger on the credits.
All right. He'll take it and pocket it, and in a low voice he'll say, all right, so here's the deal. Third planet in Harvario. It's got a little uninhabited moon. Um, I can. He looks at his buddy. Yeah, right. Get that chart out. I don't remember they classify these things, but whatever. Thing is, should still be in orbit around that thing. Leftovers of some pirate ship that tried to go down there and mess with something that didn't want to be messed with. And we were able to get close enough to get get a read on some kind of little bunker that had enough firepower to mess up a whole frigate. So it's got to be guarding something good. But as far as we could tell, nobody else has been there. Long time. And some careful questions. Nobody thinks anything's on that little moon. So, as long as you're careful, might be able to find something good out there. But I'm telling you, friend, you better watch it, because you could just as easily end up another scattered bit of debris out in the orbit of that little moon. And his partner pulls out his data slab and shows you, the basically a map of the Harvario system, and points to the moon, and even where they were able to identify the whatever bunker on that moon. And he'll copy it onto a little data stick for you.
All right. He'll look at Zeke and say, "What do you think? Good enough?" I think so.
I want to be super sure these guys are telling us the truth. Can Zeke like use transmit thought to see what they're thinking? Not see what they're thinking, but like, isn't it like emotional states, or how does it work again?
Yeah, you could get you've got enough skill to get emotional states, which
Yeah, that's at level 0.
yeah, might be helpful, but unless they're just like incredibly surface level nervous or something like that, it's not necessarily likely to tell you. And well, I guess okay, that level is not generally going to get you in trouble unless somebody's just really reactive to any sort of telepathy at all. Because
I
the
mean,
only people that would notice would be metapsionics anyway.
I mean, he's attempting a pretty superficial probe just to see slightly more than like the
Mhm.
observable emotions that they
So yeah,
like
you
present
can
with
you can
which
do that. Do you want to get both of them or just one of them?
ideally both of them.
I mean, how
Okay.
far in the
But
future can you look now?
that's true. He can, but he can't really direct it. Hell yeah, he can go 3 months into the future. So I guess he
Because we'd
could
be
ask.
3 months. Like, what
Yeah,
happens if
right.
we go to check out the ruins?
That might be a better idea, right? And just ask the question of like, yeah, what happens if we try and investigate the validity of this information they are providing us?
Okay. Let's say that's a little bit broad. Do you want to be more specific with what you might do, like fly to a specific location or try to approach that bunker in the ship or something like that?
What if we ask what would happen if we made it inside the bunker?
um so uh nice try. I will say that's I would basically treat that like asking what would happen if we go and try to enter the bunker. Um, since because you don't know a successful way to necessarily pass whatever obstacles and enter the bunker. So you can't. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what you were trying to do there, but it kind of sounded like you were trying to loophole your way into like getting the vision to reveal to you um, how to bypass the whatever protections or defenses are there. But
No, it's more like wanting to know, not being so concerned with the how we get in there, but like if we were to achieve it, would this adventure be worth our time, kind of thing.
got you.
Like if we did make it inside and manage to get past these defenses, right? Are we just walking into a death trap or
Mm. Yeah, that's so I see what you're going for. So that's a little bit beyond the scope of that ability because it relies too much on hypotheticals um, that you, the precog, don't actually even know. Um, so it generally hinges on some action, some action that the precog is wanting to undertake. Um,
God,
with the precog's knowledge. Um, it can't really do hypotheticals that rely on stuff the precog doesn't even know.
so what
Um,
if we were to go back to the party and share this? And it have to be if it's something that Zeke would do, I guess. Yeah, what if Zeke were to
yeah, I mean,
convince the party to take this job?
okay.
Couldn't it
Um,
if that works? Couldn't he just precog and ask, basically say, okay, I'm in my precog vision, I'm taking this job, and I'm going to convince the party that we're going to do it. What happens?
Yeah, I think that's the same thing that I just asked, right?
Yeah, I mean that it just cuts out the take it back to the party instead.
Oh yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah. Um,
It's complicated.
yeah, it is a little bit, and I'm trying to make sure I'm not expecting anything unreasonable or too much. But also trying to figure out with the question as worded how to um
Basically, his objective would be just to try to further validate that the information that they're giving us is worth the
Yeah.
additional 500 credits that we have agreed to give them.
I got you. Yeah, so there yeah, what I'll say then is here's the vision for Pete. So he's in the cockpit with the rest of the crew. And in the the viewport or whatever, you see wreckage of some kind of ship floating there in near space, and you see apparently a small moon off to one side in the view that you are orbiting above, and as you're approaching some of the wreckage to scope it out and see, you're looking for any signs of insignia or registration, whatever kind you could do to try to identify the ship. The ship console starts lighting up red with target lock, and weapons fire incoming, and some searing bursts of energy lance past the view window, momentarily almost blinding everyone. And everyone kicks it into gear scrambling for their control, for their controls and their stations, I guess. And Cherry guns the engines off into behind some debris as it gets pulverized into a million pieces, trying to hit the ship. And that's about the point at which the vision fades.
That sounds like a piracy setup to me.
I feel like that's what Zeke would think too.
Lure some people out to some salvage, have a ship waiting to make more salvage.
Yeah, I think I kind of want to. I don't know.
You guys
I
gonna
kind
get
of
in the
want to just
fight?
no, I kind of want to just get in a fight. Exactly. Maybe not fist fight, but like plant our feet that this is clearly a setup.
And be like, we're not paying you the other 500.
Take your current 500 back.
Yeah, that's where I stand. But I don't want to just like make that call without Roberts.
Oh, Pete will back you.
Yeah, so I think Zeke's gonna kind of plant his foot and say, what you've got there is the makings of a setup for us.
What are you trying to say? I'm gonna set up.
I
We're
mean,
trying to lure you into some kind of trap.
essentially, yeah. That's it. He's gonna come back with, you know, just repeating to them what they've already told him, that you need us to go to this remote bunker on a small moon where other ships have already been destroyed. Or you don't need us to, but you're telling us to go to this place that could just clearly be like a pirate fortress.
He puts his hands up. Look, man, you came looking for information. I told you it was a dangerous place. Somebody'd already gotten blown up going after it. You still want it in. Why the sudden cold feet?
I'm gonna need some assurances.
What kind of assurances? What do I look like? King of that moon? We were just passing by. Gave you what information we got. What do you want me to assure you of?
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to be telepathying his emotional state, by the way?
Yeah, I don't think he let go of that one. He doesn't do that.
So let's see, then you got I don't remember whatever you did for I guess precog was for the day, if I remember right. Telepathic contact I'm pretty sure is just for the scene. Because you've got facile mind. And you can do both of them if you spend 2 effort for the scene.
I'm just gonna focus on the one that's stood up at this point.
Yeah, the one that's doing the most of the talking. So that's Wesley.
Head first for
And
the conversation.
yeah. So his emotional state right now is going to be I think there's going to be frustration and confusion.
So, like, real talk, like out of character. I feel like Zeke would want to just, I don't know, because he's sketchy looking, is what Ben has implied. But Zeke would kind of want to just see if he would be willing to go on this job with us
Ooh.
as a test, really, to see if, like, not that he would want to necessarily take him, but would you be willing to agree to that?
Trying to maybe massage his, because the confusion part is an interesting reaction. He could be confused about why Zeke is suddenly where Zeke's got the information, or he could be confused because he doesn't know that there's a setup out there. But if you kind of ask to bring him along, maybe that could massage out some other emotions. Sorry, I kind of evened there. I got excited. I think it's interesting.
I don't blame you.
No,
I keep thinking
that's
like we would
great.
get somewhere with all of these attempts to kind of understand what his intentions really are,
Hmm.
but he's kind of an enigma still.
Don't give him that much
Well,
credit.
would you I'll say I'm not necessarily trying to be too obtuse about it or make it too difficult. If you'd like it to be a little clearer, I can just state it a little more plainly out of character for you.
Sure.
Okay. Because I do enjoy you guys, getting to try to navigate these things and try to suss these out. I feel like you've put enough into it. I was trying to give you enough enough hints, but without just saying it explicitly. But the indications you're getting are that he is being sincere. I'll add basically Zeke's interpretation of or understanding of his emotional state. It seems in line with someone who's genuinely confused about why the sudden switch. I told you it was dangerous and that there was this, some kind of place that blew up a pirate,
All right.
probably pirate ship, and now you're suddenly you were still all in. You wanted the info. Now that we give you the details, the location. Now you're calling it a question.
Okay.
That's a good
If
clarification. Yeah.
that's the impression that Zeke would get in that scenario, then I think he
Mhm.
would probably look to Pete and tell him, we can pay the man. We know where to find him if we have any problems. We're coming back from this adventure one way or another.
Yep.
Hey,
Pete'll slide the other 500 across the table then.
and as the guy reaches out to take it, he'll say, "Hey, I hope you come back from it too. Love to hear all about it over a drink and hear what cool loot we missed out on, but just make sure you don't end up like that or the ship. That's all I'm saying." And he'll raise his glass towards you and say, "Hey, barkeep, another one on me. For my friend here." And then he'll look at Pete. And has Pete been drinking anything? Has he gotten anything at the bar?
Probably just one of the basic bot drinks.
Okay. Yeah, and he'll say, I mean, my friend's here. And so he'll treat you both to a drink and drink to your success on your mission.
Alright.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
And let's see. I think after you all drink to that, he'll say, "Yeah, and you know what? He'll write down his number and pass it over. Uh, this number works here on Loinu Da, and this other one, uh, yeah. If you catch me on, if you can't happen to be on Anagris, try hitting me up. There's a couple of our usual stops."
Pete will say thank you much.
Alright. Yeah. I think Zeke would be up to have a couple drinks with them before heading back to the ship, but other than that, I don't know that he'd have an agenda with these guys.
Okay. Yeah, they're, um, yeah, the emotional state will have smoothed out and just be content and a little excited at the excitement will build, especially after a couple of drinks, and you'll get images of you know you'll get images of him partying and basically spending money. Then you also get an image of I don't know how that would convey mentally, but it would basically be of him. Of, well, yeah, I guess it would basically be of the scene that you are in right now, of you all drinking together and um, basically just seems like he's happy that that he made a killing on some information that they had, and that he feels like he made a couple new friends.
Oh yeah, before I forget, Zeke did give him his number as well, I guess.
Okay, awesome. So you guys both have ways to contact each other.
Yep.
All right. So you guys have a lead and a new contact. And I think we're ready to. Are we ready to for everybody to meet back up? Or did we have any other little wrap up on other scenes that we wanted to do? Danielle or Dex?
I'm good. I've got the answer to that question for earlier.
I'm good too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's your answer then, Dex?
Well, so excited chatter is more outward. Gives more of the illusion of interactivity as she tries to involve anyone around who's actively interested, but quickly just kind of continues on because it's still Eva.
Yeah.
And it's also a little bit more prone to jumping tracks. She's excited, her brain's firing. And I would say it's also probably pretty easy to direct her onto a particular type of thought. Nervous chatter is more inward focused. It's more likely just rambling, rambling over others, and it's kind of like all of her. It's kind of like her internal thoughts are escaping more so than any attempt at a conversation.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
yeah, I think if Daisuke has any kind of social insight, he may have noticed those subtle shifts.
Well, that's very generous of you.
I'll allow him. Yeah.
Well, let's see then. We've got. Oh goodness, I see the little essay you wrote on upgrading the ship here.
Yep. There's some information there for you. Anyone that is interested in the mechanics behind it. Those are things that we can do. They're very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Any kind of weapon upgrade we get is going to be very expensive.
Yeah, 800K is a little more, than I was thinking about. But
it's funny. I
who
was
knows?
hesitant.
Maybe we lose something.
I was hesitant to mention the mod because mods are usually really expensive. Like it's a percentage of the ship's whole cost, not just a flat amount. And then I'm realizing, hey, this is a free merchant. It's not very expensive, and Eva halves it because it is a mod. So, yeah, the mod is the least expensive part of all that.
Ironically, yeah.
The biggest limitation we run into is that free merchant only has 2 hard points, and the 2 really good weapons, the plasma caster or the plasma beam or the charged particle caster, both take 2 hard points.
What you're saying is we need to salvage the frigate so we have a bigger ship.
See what?
I'm not disagreeing with that interpretation.
If it is a bigger ship,
we
yeah.
could have more luxury cabins.
We can't get rid of the luxury cabin. I wasn't even considering it.
No, we can get more of them on a frigate.
Yeah.
That's true.
So the conclusion that Dex left out of his little white paper on the upgrading of the ship is that the actual realistic and cost-effective method is buy boarding tubes, board a pirate ship, and take it over.
What?
Then you don't have to spend the money on.
Leave the swallowtail behind? Are you crazy?
No.
Yeah.
We have more than one pilot.
Yeah, just
True.
Just
True.
until you, just long enough to take it over, fly them both back, and cannibalize the pirate ship for parts.
If salvaging a ship is actually profitable in that sense, then we might not be that far off. Depending on what kind of laser it was that Zeke saw, was it a multispectral beam? Was it a polyspectral beam, or was it a plasma
Yeah.
beam?
That is a good question.
Good question. I didn't think about that.
Also depends on how Ben wants to handle scavenging parts from ships and just taking, putting them on.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're. Oh, yeah. So you're talking about if it's worthwhile.
Mhm.
I guess I don't know what your threshold for being worthwhile is. There's definitely money in, taking a functional ship and, gutting it, selling whatever. If you need to find a place that's willing to buy a ship
Mhm.
or ship parts or whatever, but there are definitely places out there that will buy a ship like that or parts like that. The like just the straight up moving a fitting from one ship to another, I would allow it as long as it's as long as it's a comparable thing and you've got the equipment and the time to do it.
Okay.
Um, you know, there's going to be there's enough time and money, whatever it costs, trying to and trying to do it anyway that I wouldn't want to make it too incredibly difficult. Um, I think it's reasonable to do because it's already kind of there's kind of a built-in assumption that whatever parts
They're kind of
or well,
universal.
yeah, that like you can go to a shipyard and you can get a X fitting and it will have the same effect on whatever ship you put it on. Flavor wise, it could be a little different here and there, but mechanically they're the same. So yeah, um, as long as it's something that you can that's in good enough working condition, I would probably impose some kind of moderate cost just to the the process of getting it off and you know it's not gonna they're not exactly it's not like they're built to be plug and play, so there's gonna be some loss of parts here and there that you have to replace, but it'd be a very minuscule cost compared to just actually buying one.
All right. So that's our next objective is to go find a functional pirate ship with a plasma beam and take them out.
Yeah, pretend to be helpless, board them, take it over. Easy.
Yeah, the usual things.
I have so many concerns with this plan.
Anytime there's some wreckage, we can just go harvest, right?
that might also be viable profit wise. Yeah.
Now,
Well, that's why if we can get to the frigate in the shadow of the frigate and, salvage it.
In the shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
Now keep in mind that when Ben says frigate, our ship is also a frigate. Frigate isn't a type of ship in Stars; it's a class of
Size.
hull.
Yeah, but
size
it might
category.
have weapons to salvage.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
much good. Let me, since the topic of boarding tubes has come up, I do feel compelled to mention that they do require the target ship's engines to have been disabled. That's the only caveat, kind of catch to that. because otherwise, they'll just move out of the way before you hit them. Um, but yeah. Let's see then. So let's get everybody back together. I think we've got, we're ready to bring everybody back, and get moving to the next objective or whatever you guys want to do.
Fading the Daisuke Eva scene did not mean that I don't want to know how it went.
What? Oh, I'm just leaving that in the background.
Well, it's relevant to how Eva is feeling when we all reunite.
That is true, and that is important. Let's see.
I think I'm more curious, just kind of like how patient is he with the early conversational difficulties that she poses.
I was gonna say, I wonder if you think this would be more dependent on her or on him in this case.
Maybe contested.
I would think it'd be more dependent on him because she's oblivious enough that she's not likely to see it spiraling out of the wrong way until it's already there.
Okay.
And of course, if he is patient enough to get past the phase where she's talking and all that, I have no problem rolling like a connect for her.
Okay. Let's see.
Survive. He rolled a survive.
Survive?
Well, guys, it looks like he succeeded.
Top trolling.
Thanks. Yeah, Eva thinks it went really well, and she's no dummy. It looked to her like he enjoyed himself too.
I am gonna re-roll that. I think she was invested enough in this that her expert gears are working to try and keep things interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Is she going through her Jennifer Moon's novel database?
Yeah, there may be some quotations.
Yeah, it seems like Daisuke was actually interested in the Jennifer Moon's adaptation as well. It wasn't just, oh, it happens to be there. And she is left with the thought of, how did he know? Because it seemed like he had some idea that she liked Jennifer Moon's. She's not exactly sure how he knew that. And she's trying to, rack her brain, run the numbers on her memories. Like, okay, did I ever mention anything? And obviously there's no way she can remember everything she ever said in his presence.
I think you may be overlooking one thing, Ben.
It's possible.
Why would anyone not like Jennifer Moon's?
Oh, classic blunder. Underestimating the appeal of Jennifer Moon's.
Yep.
Because as we have well established, even Bo is a Jennifer Moon's fan, and if he can be sucked in by Jennifer Moon's, then that clearly means that everyone just loves Jennifer Moon's.
We have also established that some of those Jennifer Moon's novels are a bit on the racy side.
Some?
Are they all?
No, some of them are definitely more racy than others.
Okay.
No, yeah, no, I'm teasing. Not all of them are racy, but yeah, it's definitely well known that there's a decent chance. Well, there's a 100% chance of there being romance.
Of course.
It's really just a matter of how much is that going to feature, and is the adventure going to take a hard left turn into
Albuquerque.
Purple prose.
Yep.
purple prose? So I never heard that term, but I can deduce what it means.
Seriously?
I think you broke up there, Danielle.
I was just saying seriously. I was finding it funny. He's never heard the term purple prose.
I've never heard it either, Ben.
Oh,
Oh,
come
wait.
on.
It's actually that's not what I was thinking. I thought you were saying. I thought purple prose was going to be referring to something, racy, but no, it's just flowery and excessive.
My experience
Like
with it was in the context of racy stuff. On DeviantArt of all places, of course. There was a purple prose contest that was encouraging that just not anything indecent, but
It's bordering on
yeah.
basically how close can you get to the line kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not indecent, just like not super decent.
So my experiential memory, I don't know if it's if it ever turns into purple prose or if purple prose ever actually has it, but is that purple prose
Okay.
is I always think purple prose has those connotations. That's what I'm trying to say in so many words.
Yeah,
It doesn't
maybe that
always, but it does often.
in the
Thank you.
common
Okay,
vernacular,
that validates my gut instinct of it. Okay.
Now, Robert, that is a grade A reference that I did not even realize I made.
Well, you said a hard left, and that's why I said Albuquerque.
Man, yeah, I don't.
You can't forget the classic smug. Come on.
That might have been
Well,
lurking in my brain, but no, it's been too long since I've watched all the Looney Tunes stuff. That is great.
Oh, the disrespect.
Apologize. I will immediately go and watch Saturday morning reruns until I've made up for my mistake. Oh man.
Danielle may not
Well.
want you to, but
all right. We've taken a turn.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
at Albuquerque.
enough hard left.
Mhm.
So back to everyone meeting back up on the ship.
Eva comes back in a good mood.
I feel like Pete would be the one to say, "Well, you look perky."
It was a good movie. Yeah, it was a good movie.
You watched the movie?
Oh yes, let me tell you. Yeah, and then she gets going on.
Proceeds.
Yeah, she proceeds.
Yeah.
She isn't just telling Pete about the movie though. She is including things that Daisuke said about the movie. Not things about Daisuke, but things that Daisuke said about the movie. And then Daisuke quoted this line perfectly.
Yeah. I feel like Pete would eventually be like, "So you want to loot a abandoned frigate? Pirate frigate?"
Oh, what? Yes. Is it intact? Does his drive still work? Why is it abandoned?
Well, because it got shot by something. Don't know
Oh.
what it is.
Is the thing that shot it still out there?
Well, yeah, it's kind of attached to the moon.
Oh, what? Are we looting a
Oh,
moon?
what?
Yeah.
That's no moon.
This is when Zeke and Pete like lean heavily into a moon, like Jennifer Moon.
Yeah. People be like, yeah, it's some sort of bunker thing.
Hmm.
And be like, here, look.
Gives her the data on it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Did Zeke do one of his things on it?
I don't know. Zeke, did you do one of your things on it?
I did, and we didn't die.
Hmm.
At least not yet.
Is that a first?
Well, no, but you'd be surprised how often we do.
Hmm.
I guess it's good.
Just means we have to get better at this.
I
Or
love
loot the
Zeke
right stuff.
just being like, by the way, everybody, you should definitely listen to me because I see scenarios where we die all the time. And the only reason we don't is because you listen to me.
He's not saying that.
Oh,
But
yeah,
he's
not-
implying it.
he would never say that.
He's not saying that, but he's not saying
Exactly. Not saying it.
that. He's a little stinker.
I love it.
Okay. This is in Harvario?
Yeah.
Well, we'll
It's
check
in the
it out.
area.
Are there any
Moon of
known host?
Harvario.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it was it a moon of Harvario or was it like in the area?
I think Harvario is the system, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those where the system usually is named for the one prominent planet, like occupied planet. So there's another planet in the system with a moon.
Lame. Imagine if we lived on a planet called our solar system.
So then it's just called our solar system.
It could be called Soul.
Sol One. No, it
Exactly.
makes sense in sci-fi. I still just can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, well, it's one of those. Honestly,
It's much easier.
it's easier. That's all it is. Like, because realistically, actually, it would it is more sensible to have the planets named a little differently. Um, although, yeah, I guess it depends on what perspective you're coming from. Because, like, from the mandate's perspective, they're naming bazillions of planets. They're going to name a system, and then every planet in that system is going to be system name 1 through whatever. And so, yeah.
So, anyways, so it's a moon in Harvario, the Harvario system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess we'll look up local piracy and military patrols, and I'll see what I can find.
It'll just give a thumbs up. Worth looking at least.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what's on it?
Not a clue. Important enough that there was some sort of bunker with some pretty heavy weaponry from what the report says.
Is the
Wondering
bunker
if we could land in a
hostile?
blind spot. Hmm?
Is the bunker hostile?
I assume.
Hmm.
Yes.
It just means we don't gotta share.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing in life worth having, though, is easy to get.
I guess not. Well, good job, guys.
Thanks.
Salvaging a ship. That sounds fun. She's not being sarcastic.
I feel like Pete would say something along the lines of, um, there are free things to Zeke as they're like walking out or to whatever the next task they're happening to do is. And probably just say something like, I haven't stolen a lollipop in a while, but it'd be nice what you can get for free.
You implying that it is an intention to imply that we didn't have to buy this arrangement.
Sorry you broke up enough that I'm not sure what you said.
Sorry, I guess. Are you implying that we didn't have to buy this information, or
No, he was just responding to the most things aren't free that Zeke had made.
oh? I thought he said something like I don't know, it doesn't matter.
It was just a joke of he hasn't stolen a lollipop from a baby in a while.
No, I don't make it of stealing candy from babies. How about you, Pete?
Stealing candy from babies? It's been a while.
Noted.
Obviously. Look at me. I can't eat candy.
Make a while.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you can eat candy.
Yeah, well, I got all that effort.
You go for. Anyway, never mind. Zeke's gonna hide his candy when he gets back to the ship.
All right. Well, anybody else have any 2 cents to throw into this conversation?
Nope.
I don't think Bo's been present for any of this, though.
No.
True, he's been
Yes.
conspicuously absent.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think maybe
Bo was in focus mode.
someone might notice that you're almost having an unofficial crew meeting, but without all the crew members. That might offend someone's sensibilities.
Is that why Bo's not present?
He had a gut feeling that there was a planning meeting about to happen.
Oh no, I think oblivious to anything.
Well, that's okay, because Eva is pulling out the planning board to make notes on what information she wants to try and get relevant to this job before we the salvage before we head out in that direction.
Okay.
It's mostly going to be as much as she can find about and the history of piracy, not like long history, but a recent history. That's what I'm looking for. Recent history of piracy, military patrols, military actions, and what kind of bunkers might be out there on moons.
I think Jennifer would know. But
Yeah, we got to consult with the expert.
So, who do we think would first notice that Bo is not to be found? Getting
I
ready for
think
this.
Carrie would actually have like a doggy bag of lunch leftovers that she had brought for Bo. And she notices he's missing. She stuck around though to hear about how the date went. It's a little longer.
always does.
She had been eavesdropping on that for sure.
So did the small little snippets of Daisuke's involvement in something that Eva is talking about satisfy or just pique her curiosity?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would.
Yeah. She'll have been texting her brother.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ooh. Getting that tea.
Does Cherry
so-
point out that Bo is missing?
She would actually just go looking for him.
So Cherry wanders off from the impending planning meeting.
Yeah,
Go
she
find
sees
Bo.
Eva increasingly looking over at the windshield. She takes that as the cue that Daisuke conversation has halted. Now would be a good time to go find Bo. So she'd go check out his room first. Is he in there?
No, so he's in the workshop.
Okay, she doesn't find him in his room, so she would go to the workshop next, I think. I mean, he's known to be there, right?
Yeah, I guess that. I don't know. He'd probably exhaust his other three, or like his main places of the Cappies, his room, or the kitchen
Hmm.
before thinking workshop. But yeah, that'd probably be next on the list.
That makes sense. I guess the kitchen is probably where the
Yeah, we'll say she
the real
checked the
planning
kitchen
meetings.
before she checked the workshop.
Yeah. So yeah, what is Bo doing when she comes in?
Loud, like punk rock is playing, and he's working still, like totally focused. I think once he hears anyone at all, he's gonna be like, "Yeah, dinner's leftovers tonight. There's still some Dino nuggets in there," and then go back to working.
Cherry would drop the little to go container with the clear lid on his workbench, and he'd see a pretty nice looking burger inside.
Uh, I think give it a quick glance and be like, "Oh, thanks, not hungry," and then back to tinkering
What?
away on the mod.
And she'd say, "When was the last time you ate?" Oh.
That might get more of his focus there. He's like, check the time, be like, I guess since breakfast.
Why don't you take a small break and eat something? Might give you some time to reflect on the decisions you've made so far.
Like, I guess if it's right here, but I got a lot to do and it's not a lot of time to do it.
He slides it over in front of him. It is, in fact, right here.
Yeah, so he'll be munching, looking over the. I guess like spread out the pages with his schematics and wiring diagrams and all that stuff. Hey, it's this time. I think definitely not enough presence of mind to have hidden the first page at all.
She can
So it'd be
sneak a
there easy enough to
peek.
see. Yeah.
What does Cherry see there?
Um, see a list of names, and while the others are like the drawings, not the most organized, not like you'd see in any official blueprints of anything, but clean drawn lines, legible hand. This is like a scrawl, and it looks like the words were almost stabbed into the paper. And a list there where it's the soldier that took me, the carpetbaggers in our house, Thorfinn Skardison, administrator of Fentress, Chief Newt Arvidsson, Vario Foreign Relations, and the names go almost to the bottom of the page of people or general descriptions if he doesn't have a name for them.
Huh. Didn't know you had so many friends, Bo.
Oh, what?
Point at the list.
Let's see that. Oh, yeah. And then quick Havarian curse or rattling off several Havarian curse words. And oh, you weren't supposed to see any of that.
Uh-huh. Bo, is there any reason we shouldn't be going to Havario?
I was gonna tell you all about it, but I guess I can. So I guess we got history. Or I don't exactly like Havario. And I guess I'm kind of wanted there for murder.
Kind of.
Well, I guess not kind of. I guess they just ain't caught me yet.
Gotcha.
He's like, I mean, how bad did they really want me if they haven't caught me yet? So does at some point Cherry go like, this sounds like a conversation to have with the whole crew?
She would ask him, does anyone else on the crew know about this?
No, and I never told anybody.
Gotcha.
At least a lady I used to work with, she knows, but I don't think she's exactly around. She's still doing whole hired gun stuff. But no, nobody on the crew knows. I guess I don't even know if the government knows. I think the last I saw, I was just wanted for questioning. But I mean, there's not exactly a long list on the folks
Oh,
I murdered for suspects. But
oh, Bo. All right. Well, so I think you probably need to be the one to tell other people.
yeah, I was gonna, but I figured I'll probably have to go after we get to Havario.
Go where?
Well, I guess to get working on my list.
Bo, you cannot get to working on this list.
Well, that's why I was gonna go. I don't want to mess with old Pete's thing, trying to figure out why he's a robot man. And I figured taking care of this would get in the way of that. So
So you'd rather go commit more murder on people who may not even know why they're being murdered, such as the carpetbaggers living in our house.
I think they got the general idea. I mean, if you showed up home one day and suddenly there was some different folks in your house and they said, "Oh, our house now. What are you doing here?"
You have no idea if that's how that happened or not.
I gotta find it. I mean, they may not be ones to take
Bo,
care of, but
what happened to your family? The ones that did live in the house.
yeah, I think at that he looks pretty defeated. He said, "Well, still don't know, but I can tell you one thing that Ma and Pa always planned to die on that farm, and I don't think they would have changed their mind and left willingly."
But you don't know what happened to them.
I've got a lot of chances to find out when I'm wanted for murder on my home planet.
Did you murder somebody? So,
You
yes,
ever, you ever hear about that? Well, it may be easier just tell all y'all together.
that sounds great.
I don't know how many times I could tell this.
Well, she'll poke a finger at the burger and just kind of slide it a little closer to him. Maybe finish that.
Okay, yeah, I guess walking and eating there to wherever the rest of the crew is gathered.
No, I mean, finish eating and take care of yourself, and then you can probably be in a better state of mind to have this conversation.
I think it's like ripping a band-aid off. Might be better just to get it done quick.
Bo,
Before he can change his mind.
that's a Wagyu beef hamburger. Please eat it before it gets cold.
Oh yeah, he's eating. He's walking and eating.
Once the man's made up his mind, there ain't no changing it. So I have to say, I loved just imagining what was going through Bo's head when Cherry said, some of these people may not even know why they're being killed. And just imagine Bo being like, I mean, they'll know as soon as I tell them. Like, thinking like, what kind of an objection is that? That's a really easy problem to solve. When Cherry's like, no, that's like, that's not the point at all. Oh man, I love this crew. All right, so Bo eats and walks. How's he like the burger? Is it snappy?
Probably not really appreciating the quality and flavor of the burger, given
No.
but yeah, eating up, and I say, or probably trying to. So, well, if I was gonna get a burger like this, confessing to murder, I probably would have done it a bit sooner.
Oh, well, I'll let my dad know.
Well, Eva is still in the cargo bay with the planning board, so not too far from the workshop, in fact. Um, she hasn't made too many markings on the planning board. Are Zeke and Pete still talking about maybes and never minds when
Oh,
Bo gets around?
probably.
I mean, Zeke's
Probably.
for going to this moon, if that's what you're asking.
I think you broke up there.
Zeke's for going to this moon, if that's what you're asking.
No, just trying to help frame the scene that Bo walks into.
Yeah, I guess gathering all the folks together.
I mean, I figure they're just spitballing, looking at the board and like, okay, how do we sneak up on this thing? Do we know what this thing is?
Yeah, that'd be some of the things that Eva is writing is find out what it is, and that's where all of her get military action records, piracy reports. That's where all that's coming from.
I imagine she also was trying to come up with a list of Jennifer Moon's novels that apply.
Oh, she doesn't put those on the planning board, but
Oh, okay.
she certainly would also be forming a list of high priority or valuable components and parts and things to try and find undamaged based on generic description of it's a frigate hull. Yeah.
Right.
What does Bo say?
Inbox Bo.
Does he just stand there when he walks in?
Munching that
I
burger.
feel like that's in character.
Yeah, probably.
Yep. Awestruck at his presence.
So is Cherry gonna give him a verbal nudge?
She'll clear her throat really obnoxiously.
Hmm.
Hey, oh, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I think because Eva has been actually going back and forth with Pete and Zeke, she probably does notice that and looks behind her over her shoulder at Bo and Cherry.
Yeah, I was talking with Cherry about some stuff, and she said I should probably go ahead and tell the whole crew.
Oh, okay. I've used half the planning board, almost half, a little bit less than half, but here, and she moves away from it and motions him towards it.
I'll say, oh no, it's not like a planning board thing.
Oh,
And then I think go scoop up one of the little baby cappies. And yeah, I guess sit down with the little cappy and say, I guess it'd probably be easier just to start at the beginning. Y'all ever hear about that Bavarian uh, adoption program after they took over Phyllis?
of course. My parents thought about getting me someone to talk to, but never did.
Yeah, they said it was kids who, been left on their own or whatever by them Phylans, with their primitive planet or had been orphaned in the conquest or whatnot.
It's very sad.
Well, that wasn't exactly what they did. I mean, I guess some of them was, but it wasn't exactly like they were scooping them up out of the kindness of their heart.
Mm,
Like one buddy, Brett Jefferson, I remember his pa used to run the general store, and they took him after they killed his ma and pa for saying that he didn't like when one of the soldiers came in drunk and started tearing up his storefront.
no, wait, what?
And I wasn't even an orphan at all. My folks was still around. They just grabbed folks like me.
That's illegal.
Well, I don't think they were exactly concerned with legality. They told us they were gonna make us good Havarians, shake us out of our primitive backwards ways, and I think then they wanted to be able to send some Philians back who'd gotten on with that Havarian game plan, how things are going to be now. So I got taken to some family. Their kid, he was some kind of middle rank or whatever in their army. Helped in the Philian invasion, so that got them priority for getting in on the adoption program. I guess that was another misnomer. They didn't even really treat it like no adoption either. I think for about the year that I lived with them, I was practically just a live-in servant.
Um,
Had to do whatever they tell me to do, or risk getting in trouble. But
Carrie is about to snark that that's generally how parenting works, but she senses that he probably means more by getting in trouble than what normal parents would do.
mm,
yeah, I remember some of them Canaans, and every now and again they'd get mad enough they'd say, we can always pick up the phone and call, get them to take care of one of your siblings or someone back there. You still got a mom and pa back there, don't you? So I waited, and I guess I did learn some stuff. I learned about them fancy computers and data slabs and rocket ships and all these things that I had never seen before on Phyllis, at least not till the Avarians came. I waited till they got good and comfortable. Good and comfortable finally meant careless. Till one night I could sneak into the study. I got my pa's old knife back, another trophy that their boy had taken and brought home to him along with me. Got it off the shelf, rifled through the old man's desk, got enough credits to tide me over for a little bit, enough food from the kitchen, threw pairs of clothes that fit in, tossed it all in a bag, had it ready to leave. And then I went back and
I'm imagining everyone on like the tips of their seats. Is this pause in character?
yeah, I can say I found the both of them in their bed. I figured it wouldn't be right to do it while they was sleeping. So I woke both of them up, thanked them for teaching me how to be a good Havarian. And then I don't know if I really remember much of what I did next.
oh, well.
I remember being in some alley after that. I think eventually I found someone who could help me get an ID together. Started looking for some kind of work. It had to all be on the down low since and there weren't many suspects, and it didn't take them too long to figure out that the two were missing. And they were pretty well off folks, so and there wasn't exactly a long list of people to be checking into. So but I'd always been a good shot. Found out on Havario there was plenty of people who'd pay for that kind of thing if you weren't too particular about what you did and who you did it for. I guess did enough jobs till I could get a ticket off planet on a ship that wouldn't ask too many questions, and I guess eventually made it to Anagras from there, and kind of hopped around. I guess eventually that led me to y'all.
That's so sad.
Yeah, well, I guess that's why I ain't exactly chatty about it.
Well, I'm glad that you found us, just not that way.
Well, what does that mean for us going there now?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I guess it's been about 4 years, I think. Well, 3 years since that. I guess I don't quite look the same. I think honestly I've been aging in dog years since then. But I guess if they got their fancy crime computers on it, they might be able to get a match on me.
I mean, if
I
you
guess
wanted to look different, there are ways we could accomplish that, but like only if you want to.
I thought about that, but them surgeries is permanent, I think, ain't they? I guess we don't know nobody who can do that weird shapeshifty stuff for us either.
Yeah, the surgeries
I
are
do
permanent.
I do not know anybody who does that, but yeah, the permanent the surgery would be permanent, but that would mean you'd be safe.
Oh, there's still DNA and all that stuff, isn't there?
There's options for that too, but they're really expensive.
Just don't give him a chance to check.
I guess that's been about what I've done so far, but that kind of only adds to the problem eventually.
Not, no, it just means that you don't go back.
Oh, I was saying just if you keep killing people and you add them to the list of the people they're looking
Well,
for on your murders.
stop
There
killing
are a
people.
lot of options in between don't give them a chance to scan your DNA and like murder.
Yeah, and
I'm not clear on how we made that leap, but yes, I agree with what Jerry said.
Oh, I guess that's maybe the other part of what I need to talk to y'all about. I guess that's the what happened and the stuff on Havario. They'll be looking for me. But I guess since I met y'all, it got me thinking about all this stuff. I guess I hadn't really tried to think about it since it had happened till I met y'all. And I don't know, for a while there, I felt like I couldn't do nothing about it. But now, maybe I can take care of those folks who were responsible for all this.
um, you mean like report them?
Harry gives Eva a very sarcastic look.
Well, I mean, report him to. I thought about that. Dang, I tried it once on Olohanu Da.
No offense, but I think we're all pretty aware that reporting people in charge to other people in charge doesn't necessarily go well.
I know.
Yeah, well, I guess it was just a reporter, but they came back and they told me that was what, so 12 months ago, and that there's more interesting stuff than some backwoods hillbillies getting taken over by some weirdo pelt wearers.
Oh. Well, you can't take out the whole system yourself.
I'm not trying to take out the whole planet, just
Just a few people, like the people living in your parents' home.
What? Why?
we ain't exactly top of the list, but I mean, they did more likely than not steal my folks' house from them, maybe kill them in the process.
More? No. Statistically, it's very unlikely that that's actually what happens. Probably more like, and Eva stops herself. I mean,
It was probably put up for sale by the government.
But no, it's more like that old administrator fellow we met with.
he was nice. I mean,
He wasn't very nice when he met the old mayor.
no. Well, I mean, still, you can't just go killing them.
Well, if I did learn anything from folks, it does seem like you can't just go around and kill folks.
Now, if you did some digging and found out that they were personally responsible for your parents' deaths, then, by all means, like, have at
Yeah, I'm
it.
not just gonna go in there and start shooting. I want to find out about my folks. But for one of them, like old Thorfinn, I already know what he's done. Everybody
Sounds like
in Fentress
suicide.
saw what he.
You're talking about government officials. Sounds like they're high ranking, too. And what will it even do?
Maybe it'd make things different.
Is that what you want to do? Is make Hervario different or Phyllis different?
I guess that's part of it. I,
Mm.
I think part of it is somebody should have to account for what they did and what they made me into. I mean, heck, I can see it. I'll try not to show it, but I guess that's what made me start thinking about it. I could see the way that y'all felt about me
What?
when I first joined, that y'all acted like I wasn't normal. If there's something wrong with me, I guess there is something wrong with me.
There's nothing wrong with you. We just,
Nothing's a little strong.
what? Okay.
I mean, I guess I told y'all, but I killed so many people that I don't even remember how many people I've killed now.
That's really concerning.
Well, you haven't killed
And
us.
well, not y'all, but
I mean, I thank you for not killing us.
yeah, heck, I probably killed plenty of people just like y'all. Unless I
Okay.
didn't ask
And
first.
are you trying? I don't know if you're trying to like.
I'm
But
saying
what?
they turned me into this person who didn't feel bad about doing all those things. Someone should have to answer for that. Someone should have to pay for that. And I figure since they already broke me, I'm good enough one to fix it, and without since I
Nope.
won't feel all that bad about it.
I think we can bring light to things without putting ourselves on a level we're not proud of. But I think that's also up to you. I would personally like to say I think there's an answer other than murder every
Yes.
single time. And Bo, it doesn't sound like the person you talked to was a good reporter. And I'm really sorry about that. But maybe we can figure out how to break that story together.
I don't want to drag y'all into this. Y'all are not. You got things that y'all got to look into. Pete's trying to figure out why he's a man in a robot body. You're trying to make your folks proud and do your reporting thing, and Eva's off, being a captain and all that stuff. And
Well, then I guess you just can't kill anybody and drag us into it then.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
You know we're gonna help you, right? That isn't even a question.
I mean, I can see how it's kind of a question, but yeah, yes, but
Only
I
because of
agree
the
with
killing, though.
Eva.
It's a question if there's killing.
maybe just a couple of them. I mean, Thorfinn, he really does deserve it.
I kind of believe you, but like, I think you should probably still do your due diligence.
Just a good cathartic dome into the head at 500 yards.
You were just saying that you don't like who they turned you into, but you get to decide who you are, unless you're going to continue to give them power over you for the rest of your life.
What she said. Eva's contribution.
Friends don't let friends murder people alone.
No, Ben, wrong direction.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That's what I heard.
I guess I don't really know. I guess I hadn't really thought that far ahead. Guess I haven't ever really thought that far ahead. This was my first, I don't know, time I've done any planning for the future.
And you started with a murder list?
No, the more I thought about it, the angrier I was. I had never really thought about as much of this before, and this is the first time I felt like I could do anything about it. And I mean, the only thing I'm good with is a gun. Y'all know cool stuff like
I don't
computers
believe
or
that.
psychic stuff or
That's not true. You and Eva nerd out together all the time.
Mhm.
yeah, but all that's from guns and stuff. I
But
learned how to
you're
put together.
actually kind of good at them. I mean, more than kinda, I guess.
I, I am.
And think of like what you can do if you don't go killing somebody and getting caught. Eva looks hopelessly at Cherry. She is not the therapist, despite any time she may have said how smart she is about human psychology.
She's also, Cherry is going to also point out, you don't even know if your parents are dead. They could still be alive somewhere. And you mentioned siblings. What about them?
Well, I'm guessing they're probably dead too, but I don't know for certain.
That's what I'm saying, Bo, is find out. You deserve to know. I mean, that's part of the reason that I left Lohe Nuda the first time is because people deserve to know the truth about what happens out there. And that means you too.
And if we find them, then we can try and help them. If they don't want to be where they are, we can take them to Luhanuda or
Yeah,
somewhere
or you
else.
guys could like be murder hobos together.
No, wrong direction.
I'm just saying they might also like want their slice of like the pie.
It's a dead end. It You kill one person, two, three, four,
Sorry.
five people, and then what have you done? You killed five people, and then they've killed you, and you don't get to live anymore.
Well, even if they are alive, none of them were really like that.
Well,
I'm
then what would they tell you if they were here?
kind of scared of what they'd tell me if they were here.
It'd probably say we missed you.
They they was good folks.
They might still be good folks.
Paul didn't believe in any of. He didn't think people should fight or you know settle things with their fists. And he was always talking about how violence and murder was a sin. And now I've killed so many people. I don't even know how many I've killed. I'm afraid they'd hate me.
I think they'd want you to do the right thing.
Well, that's it. Then we have a lot of things to research on. Listen, Hervario. Let's wrap up here on La Hedinda and make our way there. We'll find them though.
And if you're gonna murder someone, can you like let us know first? Like, just like a heads up would be like kind of nice.
Oh, well, actually, if he tells us, then we're accomplices.
No, no, no. We can have a safe word. Just like it's a code word. It doesn't have to be like, it could be like,
Banana?
hey, I'm not feeling great. No, we're not using banana.
Okay.
It's already taken.
Yeah, I guess. Since I hadn't exactly figured out this whole planning for the future thing, maybe I can run that by y'all. Thank you.
It's okay, Bo. I'll help you plan for your future on the Swallowtail. You'll have a long time here.
Ooh, are we gonna have an HR?
Isn't that you?
Oh no. No, I don't know how I feel about that.
He's like, wait a minute. HR is only cool if it's somebody else.
Yeah, I don't want to be the person that people complain to. I want someone to complain to for my stuff.
Well, I'm the captain, so you can complain to me, and other people can complain to you. And
you know, we can talk about it later. We'll figure it out.
okay.
I vote Apple is the head of HR.
Amen.
Apple's a capybara.
She's a good listener, ain't you,
Yes.
Apple? Yeah, you listen.
She's a refined lady.
But
Zeke can translate.
Yeah, and she won't spill the beans to anybody, which is integral to the HR position.
Confidentiality. She knows all about it.
Are you joking?
Sherry
Why has
is
Apple been
trying
telling you
her
any
best,
secrets?
is trying her hardest to keep a straight face.
No, Apple. You have to be joking. Apple can't be HR. I'm captain's decree right now. Apple is not HR.
So you put me in charge of HR?
Yes.
I mean,
Okay,
we'll get her.
my first movement as head of HR is to make Apple my assistant HR. Thank
Get
you.
a certification or whatever.
I guess you're
I'll work
allowed.
on that. That's a great idea.
I guess you're allowed to do that. I don't
We'll just put a
approve
little
of this,
data
but
slab in her pen. She can take night courses when all baby cappies are asleep.
but what?
She'll be an HR pro in no time.
I think this.
She's just a
Here we-
single mom who works 2 jobs, okay, Eva?
She loves her kids and never
She
stops.
doesn't have.
Yeah.
With gentle
I think-
paws in the heart of a fighter.
Eva's starting to realize as this goes on that yes, you're absolutely pulling her leg and her other leg and both arms.
Yeah, I feel like this felt like a moment where the camera like zooms out slowly and their voices slowly fade in the background of both Cherry and Bo like on either side of Eva, just like pelting her with these, and she's just like turning from one to the other, looking more and more concerned and confused. And
Cherry's already planning what Apple's HR outfit is going to look like.
the like goofy sitcom end closing theme song fades in over the, over the screen as it fades out.
Cherry would also attempt to salute Bo at some point.
Oh man. All right, well, we need to wrap the session. It is that time.
It's about that time.
Yeah, we got Bo's confession fit in there.
I don't like how you worded that. That makes me uncomfortable.
You wouldn't characterize that as a confession?
I didn't say that. I just said I don't like how you worded it.
Okay. Sorry. Let's see. We got.
We were just friends listening to a friend. That's all it was. Mm-hmm.
Fair. Yep. All right. So Avery, you're up first. What was your favorite?
Just getting into a bunch of sketchy stuff, sketchy pasts, sketchy futures. You know,
almost having a bar fight.
There we go. The ghost of sketchy past, present, and future.
I like that.
Sketchy past and sketchy future. Future. Goodness, I feel like I've fumbled so many words tonight. I don't know.
Are you having a stroke? How does
No.
the side of your face feel?
Colobondulance.
I don't know what you just said.
Colobondulance. An ambulance.
He is having a stroke.
Oh, Ethan, you whipped it out way too fast. No, if that were the case, I think I would have had like 12 strokes tonight.
Oh my.
Anyway, I guess that's my turn now for favorites. Boy, oh boy. There were definitely a couple good. Oh boy. I think there's one that's escaping me right now. I should have written it down as soon as I realized it.
Who was involved? That might help.
Yeah, it was. I feel like it was Bo.
I'm not asking you to name a favorite player, but I mean, name a favorite player.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Bo's stuff was really great tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely enjoyed the. Oh, okay. This was one good thing.
Only good thing.
Like the kill list, just like sitting out on the workbench. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to just summarize it. I love that it was just sitting there for Che to wander up to, because Bo was just like, he was so single-minded, he just didn't realize, oh, wait a second, that's my. It's just like in with his other notes. and not thinking about other people wandering in that space. I also liked I guess the Zeke and Pete team up. Going to the sketchy bar, taking up leads.
If the name of this episode is not sketchiness in some form or fashion, I will riot.
No, it's
Sketch
Sketching
RP.
on down to Sketchy Town.
Doing Hoodrat things with my friends.
Doing Hoodrat things with my friends is pretty perfect, honestly.
Or was it Hoodrat stuff? I think it's Hoodrat things.
I just want to do Hoodrat things with my friends.
What number are we on?
55.
55, okay. I have to start labeling the number because I know that I've missed some that I wrote down, but because I didn't get to highlight them until later. Couldn't find where I wrote it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so what do we got? Doing Hoodrat things with
Doing Hoodrat things with my friends.
Oh,
You could just make it Hoodrat things.
it
The
was
title.
Hoodrat.
things.
It
Do
was
that.
Hoodrat stuff with my friends.
It is Hoodrat stuff. I just want to do
Yeah.
Hoodrat stuff with my friends. I'm sort of disappointed in myself for getting that wrong.
I get Hoodrat with a little help from my friends.
The Beatles would be so proud. I feel like the Beatles would probably be fans of Hoodrat things.
Okay. I just want to do Hoodrat things with my friends. Might be too long of a title, but we'll see
I'm saying
what fits.
Hoodrat stuff would be fine.
Hoodrat stuff would be an acceptable abbreviation.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the phrase.
Or Sketchy Town. That's fine too.
Oh my. What am I? I'm getting distracted here. It's Danielle's faves now.
Some of these people might not even know why they're being murdered. Also finding out that Daisuke is a Jennifer Moons fan.
Or did he just do his research?
I see no difference.
Oh man. Oh, I'm glad
The
you're
true
thinking.
Jennifer Moons connoisseur, they would know that to read her is to love her.
Mm-hmm. Dex.
Well, I wrote down 4 things.
All right.
And these are not in any particular order except for the order in which they occurred. Daisuke's survive roll.
The survive roll. So good.
It was great to see Zeke and Pete and also get a salvage job. So Zeke and Pete getting jobs. Then I wrote in quotes, the list.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, Apple HR. Those all really tickled me, and I could not bear myself. I could not bear to remove one to restrict myself or restrain myself to just 3.
Yeah, that's totally
Completely
fair.
understandable. I'll allow it. Clearly, since I already typed them all out. Oh, that was a solid session. I think next time
Are you forgetting
we are
someone?
ready. Say what?
Forgetting someone.
Oh, goodness gracious, Ethan. I don't know why looking at the list there, I just didn't even notice the blank spot.
Probably because Ethan was mentioned
Goodness.
so many times on the favorite
Oh.
list.
Yeah. Felt like he'd already been there.
I do think the survival being used for dates at its peak. And then, yeah, Apple HR.
Just that whole scene, especially them going all in on pulling Eva's legs, and like a Cherry and Bo bonding moment.
Because she is a single mom who works too hard.
Yep.
She loves her kids and never stops.
And we got to honor that, you know?
She's a survivor.
Yep.
Oh no, I feel like we're getting into musical territory here, so I'm
Okay.
gonna post this.
I feel like there's a reference that I'm missing.
Oh my word,
And
Ben
Sounds like a
probably-
Copeland.
song.
Probably happily missing.
What kind of Alabama boy are you?
We're angling for the Reba coming in as a guest character
Yeah, we are.
for episode 56.
I will gladly angle for that.
Yeah, that's still like about a mile over my head, unfortunately.
Oh, Benjamin Copeland, I'm so disappointed.
And I
You got a
think that's
week
a
to get
great
him
point to
caught
end the
up.
stream.